Welcome to our channel. My name is Michelle, and this video is going to be our 5th video in a series that I call our financial monthly summary. What I'm doing is each month on the 23rd, I track or I tally up what we have paid off, what we've eliminated, and what we've sold sometimes. And then the last thing would be what income we have been able to add in to our finances in order to continue this debt decrease journey. So to give you a little bit of a backstory, we decided August 23rd of 2019 that we were going to sell everything and move into an RV full time. Our goal is to leave September 1st of 2021 and become mobile. We'll probably buy our RV this spring, sell our house this spring, move into it and be stationary for a time. But the goal is to be completely credit card and school loan debt free. Now, I haven't included our car loan and our mortgage in that because the house will be sold, and also the car is going to be replaced with a truck at some point. This video is going to be about what we have accomplished in the month of January. Right up here, I'm going to put a link to the playlist of our other monthly summaries. I started doing these in September on the 23rd of each month, and I'm doing them mainly to show myself what we've accomplished, right? Yeah, a lot of times if you lose motivation and you look back at the things you have accomplished, it helps get you going again. We have not hit a wall when it comes to that. We are still extremely motivated, still extremely focused on this. And the best part about that is these videos, they keep me accountable. So if you have anything that you're attempting to do, maybe you're wanting to pay off debt or, sell your house and do stuff similar to what we're doing. A lot of times if you make videos, it holds you accountable. You have to think about what you're going to say, all that stuff. It's all a good thing. So I love numbers. And what I do is I write everything down. I'm using this book called The Budget by Paycheck Workbook. The woman that produced this, her Instagram account is called The Budget Mom, and I recommend that you go over and check her out. The first thing that we've done as a major change for this month, for the January financial summary, is that I have added a part-time job. I am going back to work at UPS as a preloader, and they call it a full-time part-time job. It will enable me to have an incoming paycheck every single week, and it will help us get our debt paid down more consistently versus just relying on my 2 businesses. They're not consistent enough for me to predict how much I'm going to get paid each month, but when I have this job, I'll be able to predict and plan, right? Budget more. I will tell you, when we started off with $81,221.64 in school loan and credit card debt. Now, our school loans are back from probably the last 12 years. We did have an original school loan debt that was paid off before we started this, but we're in our early 50s and we still have school loans, and that's just not a good thing. If you're young and you watch this by any chance, don't go into debt for school loans. It's just do whatever you can to pay for college without school loans. All right, that was my little PSA. Okay, so we started off with $81,221.64. As of this month, we are down. We have decreased our total debt by $8,049.17. Now, I love numbers. You can see I've got all kinds of stuff written here. So what I'm going to give you guys is a breakdown of that. Now, each month, you look at what you can eliminate, right? So in the very beginning, we eliminated cable. We switched phone companies. We started canceling things, monthly memberships that we were paying for, and we started changing things out. So very quickly, I was able to eliminate hundreds of dollars per month in things that we didn't necessarily need, and was able to move that towards, paying off debt. Each month, though, that has kind of gotten less and less and less, right? So over the last 5 months, we've paid off my daughter's cell phone. I actually paid off my husband's cell phone this month. And what's happened is we have accumulated money each month to pay down towards more bills, right? The best part about that is our credit card debts started out at required payments for school loans and credit card debts started at $1,161 a month. Like, no matter what, we were required to pay that. That was a monthly minimum, right? Now, 5 months later, it's down to $986. So that's a change of $175. That's a huge thing. That's a huge thing, because that's money we're not paying an interest. It's money that we're able to put towards other loans. Our school loan debt is decreasing very slow because out of the 3 loans, we're only paying on one of them. The other 2 are in forbearance. What I'm going to be able to do is, now that I have a part-time job with UPS starting next week, I will be able to then allow one of those to come out of forbearance and begin paying on it. That's kind of exciting, because I cannot stand it that our school loans, they accumulate, they grow every single day. Oh, I can't stand that. Again, like I said, please don't go into debt for school loans. It's very hard to get out from underneath that burden. Oh, it's just extremely hard. So this month, our school loan debt only went down $130. I mean, I paid $376, but it only dropped by $130. At least it's dropping, but still, I just don't like that. Okay, the exciting part though is our credit card debt. We dropped $1,743.84. And that is without me working my part-time job. So I worked at UPS for 9 weeks that ended right before the new year. And I have not worked up through this month, and I start next week. So basically January will be, I did not work a part-time job, and my photography business didn't make any money because it's been kind of too cold, right, to do photo shoots. So that income, my photography business and my Young Living Essential Oils business, those incomes are variable each month. I'm not really counting on those 2 businesses to pay off any of my debt. Now, I can increase payments on our debt as I get jobs for photography and as my oils business grows, but I'm not relying on them. So that's why I went and got that part-time job at UPS. It's going to be a guaranteed 17.5 hours a week. I will know each week that I will have this much money, and then I can budget out how much money we can pay off each month. The reason I'm doing that though is to get my foot in the door, because I want to become a UPS full-time driver, driving the brown trucks. I would love to be able to do that for a full solid year prior to us leaving, because the amount of income that I can get, we would have everything paid off if that was just input into our life. Does that make sense, right? So I want to say, what I end up doing is I take the amount of money that we've paid up to this point. So now we're at a total of 5 months. I take that number and I divide it by 5 to see what our average is. So each month that will change, right? I want to make sure that our average stays high, and I want to look back at the very first month was the least amount of money we could pay down on our debt, because I wasn't working a part-time job and we were just starting, right? So that first month was $660 that we decreased in debt. But when you average it out over the last 5 months, we have averaged $1,609.83. That is fabulous. I mean, to go from having every single one of our credit cards at its max, we were at our max on every single credit card, like 97% credit utilization on our credit report. Oh my gosh. It's stupid. It was just stupid. I have basically cut out all extra spending, right? So I have to buy things for my daughter's school. We had to register her for classes. We've had to purchase, I don't know, you purchase, other than groceries and your gas and all that stuff, I have eliminated, all those things that you scroll through on Instagram or Facebook and you're like, oh, that's only $20. I'll buy that. Yeah, that stuff adds up after a while. And so for years, we had lived on our credit cards at full, almost all complete credit utilization. We are now down to 84%, which we haven't been that in, like I said, over 5 years. The best part about that is, obviously, it's affecting our credit report in a good way, our credit score. But it also, I don't know, it's changed the way I look at things. It's changed the way I approach, well, do I want to buy that? Do I really need that? I will say this month, like last week, I did do a video where, I'll put a link right up here, where I purged all my clothes. And what's funny is I got rid of like everything that I knew I didn't want to wear in the next month. I knew that maybe I couldn't fit into, and I took 5 bags of clothes to Goodwill. Oh my goodness. Now I look at it and I'm like, oh shoot, I'm gonna need like some t-shirts, to go work this part-time job because it's in the warehouse at UPS. I'm not gonna need good clothing, but I'm like, oh, I might need an extra pair of jeans. I don't know. So I'm looking at what can I eliminate and get out of my closet to then replace it with some new clothes. I will say t-shirts, I can just get that stuff at Goodwill, but I'm actually going to raid my husband's closet first to see if I can use any of his t-shirts. That's probably the best thing to do, right? So let's do a summary. Number one, I got a part-time job that will affect our future financial summaries. That's a good thing. Number two, I paid off my husband's cell phone, and that was, I think, $28 a month. And now the only cell phone we're paying for is mine, and I have like 20 more payments on that, so we're not even close. Number three, I eliminated a whole mess of stuff out of my closet, and I've started to put things up for sale on Facebook Marketplace again. I've put some camera equipment up for sale. I've put a dresser up for sale because I got rid of all those clothes. I don't need one of these dressers anymore. One of the things I want to do is eliminate furniture early on because I want to eliminate having to take whatever somebody offers. I'd rather get the price that I ask for these things. And that gives us the best amount of money for what we're selling, right? And number four is we've decided to purchase a used trailer versus a new one. What happens when you start going through this process is when you start training yourself to spend less money, then you start looking at your choices. And I feel like we were fine thinking that we wanted a brand new trailer, right? Everybody says buy used, but we wanted a brand new trailer. What's happened over the last 5 months is we've really looked at, do we want to be burdened with debt? Because I don't want to pay off everything and then go out and have this humongous trailer payment. We can buy a used truck, we can buy a used trailer. The goal here is to make the best financial decision for our family. Now, if we already had, supplemental income that would have paid for those two things, number one, we wouldn't be in this much debt. We would already be less debt burdened. But I like that we've made this decision on our own, based on our own experiences and not on the advice of others. Because most people will tell you, I'll tell you, don't go into debt. I'll even say it to people. But each family person has to make those decisions based on their own experience, choices. The best thing for us has been that we have decided to do this our way. We pray and ask for God's guidance, and He has given us so many new things to think about. And what happens is then we make choices that are more filled with wisdom versus just knee-jerk reactions of, oh, I want that. Oh, that's a pretty shiny object. I want that. But we had to do it on our own because everybody in the world will tell you, almost everybody in the world will tell you, don't go into debt and live within your means. But what happens is you have to get that inside of you. Most of us don't like being told what to do. I don't like being told what to do. I wanted to make that decision on my own. Over the last 5 months, my husband and I have talked so much about this that we have fine-tuned what we want out of our adventure. We have fine-tuned how we want to travel. We are continuing to talk about, do we want to stay in RV parks? Do we want to boondock? And if we want to boondock, what that entails. Are we going to want all the pieces that are required for boondocking, like solar, lithium batteries, a composting toilet? All of those things you have to talk about. You want to figure out what kind of traveler you want to be. Each couple has to do that themselves. So we have made the decision, that's the number 4, we've made the decision to buy a used trailer, 2014 versus brand new. And we've done that because we don't want to leave with a huge debt burden. But we had to come to our own decision. One of the best parts about this is I did a tally of our credit card debt from the beginning to now, and we are now up to 25% of it is paid off. Oh my goodness. I seriously, when we went into this, I didn't know how fast we would be able to do this. I was kind of hoping that we would be able to do it fast. I really didn't have any idea. I looked at it and thought, in 2 years, we're looking to pay off a total of, I think we started off with $32,000 in credit card debt. I thought, oh my gosh, how are we going to do that? I hope that we just get our credit card debt paid off before we leave. And if we still have to pay school loans, then we have to pay school loans. But the way it's looking, now that I have this part-time job coming up, it looks like we actually could. I'm gonna proclaim it right now in the 5th month out of total of 24 months. I think we could pay off all of that before we leave. Oh my gosh. Then we would only have a truck payment and a trailer payment for when we go out on the road. Now, the best part about that is it takes the pressure off. I think when you're told that you have to do something, you always wonder, would I have really been more happy with what I originally wanted? And I want to eliminate that. I now know that we will be happy with the choice that we've made, but we had to come to that on our own. It wouldn't have ever worked if we just did what other people told us to do. If you watch any of our videos, I think you'll learn we don't typically do what other people tell us to do. We watch a lot of videos, I do, and I like to learn from other people, and I definitely think I have already eliminated some mistakes by watching other people's videos, but I want to do it on my own terms. My husband and I are in agreement on most things about how we want to do this traveling adventure, and it just is more confidence building when you make those decisions for yourself. All right, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, I would encourage you to subscribe because we will be covering the next 3 or 4 months. We're going to be covering buying a used RV, selling our house, continuing to pay down debt, and we will possibly do some RV tours here and there. But the best thing about this is you're watching a family go through the process of making the decision to change their lives completely and moving over into an RV full-time with their child. And I think that we're a little bit different because we have a teenager. We don't have a bunch of little children, and we have to take into account that we are preparing her for adulthood, and she also needs privacy, and that determines some of the things that we're deciding to do. So this channel is going to kind of be all over the place. We homeschool our daughter. We have 2 amazing dogs that will probably be part of our channel. They are Australian Labradoodles. We are previous truck drivers. We both still have our CDL license. I have kept my license, but I haven't driven in 5 years. My husband still drives truck. He hauls sand for oil wells. So we have a little bit different background bringing us into this lifestyle. We've lived the nomadic lifestyle before, but it was in a semi-truck, right? The 3 of us lived in a semi-truck for 4.5 years with our 2 dogs and traveled the country while my husband and I drove as a team. So we've already lived this life, and actually living in a trailer is going to be like living in a mansion for us compared to what we did before. I hope you've enjoyed this video where I share all of our finances. If you have any questions, post in the comments below. If you are struggling in an area, I'd love to support you. The best part about this community, this YouTube RVing full-time community, is that we can share with each other, we can support each other, and I kind of find it, I like being able to talk to people that are going through the same decisions because it is different. This is a totally different lifestyle. All right, I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Y'all have a great day. Bye.